Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Y'all just seen the completion of the game. Chargers win 34-24. Um, man, there's a lot to take away from this game, even though it is a win. The number one thing you can take away from this is that the Chargers, no matter what you say, they are still not a well-coached team. This is an issue. This is a problem, and it's going to rear its head at some point during the rest of the season. It's going to rear its ugly head. They're still not well coached. This is huge. It's a huge problem to come out to have a 20-point lead and to, for it to come down to really your final offensive drive. That's not great, man. That ain't great. That is not great. It's really, really not great. They're just not a well coached team, and this is facts now, and this is something that the Chargers are going to have to deal with until they make a change. Presumably in the offseason. They're just not well coached. This is just not a well coached team. It's clear to me that Brandon Staley he's just not prepared to coach a team like this. Maybe he is prepared to be an NFL coach somewhere. But I don't think he's prepared to coach a team with this much talent and a team that has this many expectations. I just don't think Brandon Staley is there. He ain't there yet. He's just not there. The game was much, much, much too close. Almost blew it again. Let's see. Almost blew it again. The run game was a lot better, but Lombardi again, poor play call in the second half. Yeah, and that's what happens. And can somebody please explain to me? And this is what I wanted to start this whole video off with. Do Brandon Staley and Joe Lombardi think that Sony Michel is O.J. Simpson? Do they think that he's USC O.J. Simpson, Buffalo Bills O.J. Is that what Joe Lombardi thinks that Sony Michel is? Why is Sony Michel getting all of these snaps in the second half? Somebody please explain to me why. He's nothing. He does not change the game in any way, shape, or form. He does nothing. Joshua Kelly was running hard in the first half. He had back-to-back runs where he was running hard. Nice burst, right? Good balance, fighting off tackles. Why was Sony Michel in the game so much? He does nothing. He has nothing. He has no burst. He has no speed. He has nothing. Like he really has nothing. I don't understand. I really, really do not understand why Sony Michel is getting all these snaps. Again, what I talked about last week with the locker room stuff. That's why you guys can see now why guys in the locker room are questioning the coaching staff. Why is Sony Michel getting so many snaps? When Joshua Kelly, when he comes in, he flashes every time. It's been every single game that the Chargers have played now. Joshua Kelly gets a little tiny bit of work. But you remember what he does. Sony Michel played, I don't know how many snaps in the second half. I can't remember anything that he did because it's not memorable. He has no burst. I just don't see it. I really do not understand. I don't understand this at all. Is Joe Lombardi, so Joe Lombardi and Brandon Staley, they're telling me that they see something in Sony Michel that Bill Belichick and Sean McVay didn't see, because both those guys are Super Bowl winning coaches, right? And have been to multiple Super Bowls. They see something in Sony Michel that these great coaches didn't see. No, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't understand why Sony Michel is getting so much work in the second half. I absolutely do not. Joshua Kelly he earned his position. And again, I wasn't a Joshua Kelly fan. You can go back and look at some of the videos that I had. I wasn't a Joshua Kelly fan. His first 2 years didn't impress me. He just wasn't good to me. And the eye test, it proved it out. He wasn't good. But this season, he looks like a different back. And, I started to see it in the preseason. And so I started to get on the train. And he does look like a different back. Every time he comes in, he does something good. Every single time he's in the game, he does something good. When the ball is in his hand, something good is happening. And for the Chargers to just ignore that, and just to go to Sony Michel just because, I really don't understand that. Really, really don't understand that. That is a huge problem for me. It's a huge, huge problem for me. And I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. But, this is what the Chargers are. They're just not they're not a well-coached team, guys. And the sooner Charger fans understand this, the more we can, you know, adjust our expectations of this team. This is not a Super Bowl team right now. And I just have to say it. Like, I'm a Charger fan. This ain't a Super Bowl team. And there's a lot of people who are, oh, you're being negative. No, I'm just telling the truth. This is not a Super Bowl team. This is not a Super Bowl team. Did anybody catch the graphic that they just showed with about, it was 2 minutes left or whatever, or a little more than 2 minutes left? The Chargers to this point, did you guys see that? Have given up the most the most second half points in the league. They've given up 58 second half points in like 58 second half points. And to this point right now, week 4, right? The Chargers have only just judging by all the opposing teams' records, the Chargers have only played one good team. Just judging by their records, the Chargers have only played one good team, and that was the Chiefs, right? The Raiders 0-3, right? The Chiefs are, what are they, 2-1, right? They're really the only good team that the Chargers have played. Really, when you look at it, right? The Jaguars are they're good, but they're young, right? I don't expect them to honestly don't expect them to make the playoffs this year. The Jaguars, they're good, they're on the upswing, but I just don't expect that much from them. And then you look at this game here with the Texans. So the Chargers have really only played one playoff caliber team, but they've given up 58 points in the second half. It's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see, is Lombardi calling defense? No, it's Brandon Staley. He doesn't know what he's doing. This scheme, and I tweeted this on my Twitter page earlier. This scheme is missing something, because this is the exact same scheme that Vic Fangio ran with the 49ers. Vic Fangio ran this exact scheme with the Bears. Both of those teams were Super Bowl defenses. Right now, obviously the Niners got to the Super Bowl with Harbaugh. The Bears did not get to the Super Bowl with Mitch Trubisky. Obviously, you knew that wasn't going to happen. But that defense was Super Bowl caliber defense. It can shut you down. It can take away what you do best. And that is, obviously, they had great players on that team as well, too, right? I'm talking about the Bears defense. Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack was there. They had good players on that team, Roquan Smith. But the scheme really brought the best out of the players. And there's good players on this defense right now, but the scheme is not bringing the best out of them because there's something missing. This is a very, this is almost a great value version of the Vic Fangio defense, right? Just like Joe Lombardi runs the the great value version of Sean Payton's offense. This is the great value version of Vic Fangio's defense. Excuse me. Damn, I'm getting all the names confused right now. Staley is just not that defensive guy. And a lot of people have to come to grips with that. He's not the defensive wizard that everybody thinks he is. And it's rare that you see younger guys, because Staley's 38. It's rare that you see young coaches like that have a defensive type of mastermind scheme. It's rare. It's extremely rare. That normally comes with age, right? You look at Belichick, he's old. Vic Fangio's old, right? You look at some of the best defensive coordinators that have been in the league. They've been old, right? Wade Phillips, we all know him. He was with the Chargers for a minute. These guys are old, and they have developed a lot of experience. So it's very, very rare for a young guy to have a very, very good defensive scheme. You can have good players on defense, but as far as scheming stuff up, stopping what the opposing team does best, no, not really. Not really. The Chargers, again, another long run today, right? Was it 75 yards? Another like good defenses, great defenses don't do that. Great defenses do not give up 50+ yard rushes in consecutive weeks, if at all, right? Some of the greatest defenses in the history of the league, right? Have you look at the Ravens defense in 2000, they didn't even give up a rush over like 15 yards that whole entire season. So when you're looking at great defenses, they don't do that. They don't give up long runs. It is clear that Brandon Staley he's over his head. I'm still going to say that. But I will say, though, Joe Lombardi, as much as I get on here and I talk about Joe Lombardi and all that stuff, I have to give him credit that it was a good game plan in the first half. There was actual pressure on the defense, right? The Texans defense looked like they were reeling, right? They looked like they were on their heels. They couldn't really get a read on what the Chargers were doing. They ran the ball, decently in the first half as well, too. Obviously not for yards, but in situationally they ran the ball well. And Justin Herbert obviously had a fantastic first half, but the play calling was okay. It kind of kept them off balance, and that's what you want to see as a Charger fan. It's not just about going deep and taking deep shots and all that stuff. What puts pressure on the defense, right? Sometimes a 6 and 7 yard run puts pressure on the defense just as much as a deep pass. It's not just about going deep. It's about keeping the defense on its heels, not letting them get comfortable, not letting them get a read on you, because too many times that's what the Chargers do. They get comfortable and the defense gets comfortable and they get a read on what the Chargers are doing. And they pick up things and they know when the play action is coming. They know when a run is coming. They're able to tell, especially from the shotgun formation. They need to scrap all of the shotgun runs. Just scrap them all right now. Stop doing that. That has been a Charger thing that I hate. And this is not just a Joe Lombardi thing or a Staley thing. This has happened through I don't know how many coaches. And it pretty much going all the way back, even before Tom Telesco was there. Why do they run so many shotgun runs? That shit doesn't work. It doesn't work in the NFL. It absolutely does not. That's one of the college concepts that I wish, well, specifically the Chargers left that in college. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in the NFL, especially when you have a Herbert can run, but he is not taking quarterback sneaks. He's not doing quarterback draws. He doesn't do that. The Chargers are not going to run him, obviously, with his bad ribs and all that stuff. It doesn't work. Get that out of here. The shotgun runs, stop it. Scrap all of them. Do not run any of them at all. You have a better chance of picking up yards from an I formation. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't work. I've never ever seen a Charger shotgun run work. As long as I've been a Charger fan, they should cut that out. They should stop it. It makes zero sense at all. I remember they were doing that all the way back then when who was the big guy? Tober. Was it Mike Tober? Mike Tober was the running back, right? He was the fullback, but he was taking running back snaps, and they're doing shotgun runs with him, right? Slow guy, big slow guy running a 4.8 40, with shotgun runs. Now you have defensive ends crashing down on it. Automatic 4-yard loss. Automatic. They need to scrap those plays. I do not want to see it. It doesn't work. That's one of the college concepts that doesn't work in the NFL. If you do not have a running quarterback, that shit doesn't work. Scrap it. Please scrap it. But regardless of that, man, we played an okay game. But again, the coaching is just an issue. And that's just something that as fans, we're just gonna have to deal with. This is a poorly coached team. It is. Super Bowl team, just not Super Bowl coaching. Agree. 100% agree. 100% agree with you, man. Technically, you can blame Lombardi. He was calling it too conservative, making the defense get on the field so many times in the second half. I don't blame him for looking tired. Yeah, but I think it was more of an execution thing in the second half. It looked like there were some drop passes, missed blocking assignments on some runs. You can't really put that all on Lombardi. Now, if the Chargers do not, if they come out and they have a couple 3 and outs, then yes, Lombardi is going to go conservative. But for the first couple of series, I thought it was okay. I thought he called okay, plays. The sequences were there. There was just drop passes. I know Gerald Everett had that drop. He was wide open on that third down in the first series after halftime. If he catches that, then the Chargers, maybe they go down and score or whatever, or maybe they just take it down and play field position. But there were a few more than a few mistakes that some of the players made. So I think they got to own that. It wasn't as bad as it could be. Obviously, it could be better, but it wasn't terrible. It really wasn't terrible. Obviously, getting to the end of that third quarter and getting into the fourth quarter, though, that's when Lombardi strikes. But the Chargers made mistakes, though, too. DeAndre Carter with the fumble on the kickoff. There's just mistakes being made that didn't have to be made, right? A couple of flags on the DBs and stuff too, just mistakes. Just guys are just making mistakes, and you really can't fault Lombardi for that. Staley maybe a little bit, but I think the guys just they honestly just took their foot off the gas, and that's what you've seen. You've seen a team that was relaxing. You've seen a team who was trying to cruise to an easy win, and the Texans, they put up a fight and they made it a game at the end. But it is what it is. This is what happens when your team is not coached well, and this is what happens when your team is not, ready to go out and play, ready to, put the nail in the coffin. And this is what happens. This is what happens under the Chargers. They get out. Under Staley, they've got out to big leads, but then they have salted them away. This is a thing now. So we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it. Let's see. Carter did not have a good game. He needs to stop trying to run dudes over. Yeah, I agree, man. Especially on the kickoffs too. Like, just let them go over your head, man. There's nothing wrong with starting at the 25. Like, if things are not being blocked up correctly, and the Chargers special teams, especially on, they're okay on punt returns, but kickoff returns, they have been bad. They haven't been good. So I would let a lot of those balls just fly over my head unless it's falling short in front of me. If I have my heels on the goal line and if I see that ball is about to travel over my head, I'll just let it go. Don't even mess with it because it's not even worth it at this point. You're not getting any yards and you're putting the Chargers in worse starting field position. So, yeah. Carter coming out the 1 yard line and scared let the ball. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's no reason for that. And he's good, but he ain't the best at it. So I don't know, man. He made some mistakes, and that was obviously a huge mistake. They scored on it, so I think that was probably one of the things that made the momentum swing a whole lot more. If he doesn't do that, then the game is probably different. We probably win by at least 14, I would say. But it is that little things like that can switch the game. So I wish I could watch. I just watched the director and then on NFL Plus, watch the game later. Yeah, they have the games on the full. Yeah, they got the full replay. And they have the coaches tape a little bit afterwards. You think they just get too arrogant and cocky about being ahead by so much and get too lax? I don't know. It's a natural thing. I don't think it's arrogance. That happens in sports and basketball. It happens everywhere, and it happens on every level too. I can remember several times playing in high school where we got up by a lot and we ended up just not doing anything afterwards. But it just happens. Sometimes it happens, and it is what it is. But good coaching, when you have really good premium coaching, they challenge you. They challenge you to do other things. They challenge you to really focus in and be able to do what you need to do. And that's just not what Brandon Staley is. He's not that type of guy. He's not that kind of coach. So this is going to happen, So it's not a big, not a big deal. But the Chargers, they do have to get better, obviously. Gonna go in Raider chats and watch them have a mental crisis. Top tier entertainment. Yeah. I know. I got some money on the Broncos. I think the Broncos are gonna win. The Raiders are not a good team, man. They have not, and I don't think. I'm actually about to get off and watch this game right now. I just want to come on and react to it. The Raiders are I think they're going to lose today. The Broncos do things that the Raiders can't really handle. They run the ball well. Raiders can't stop the run. And the Broncos get pressure, and the Raiders have a terrible offensive line. So I'm actually going to get off right now and watch this game. So, yeah, what time did it start? 1:25. Is it on yet? I don't think it's on yet. Or they're probably just about to kick off right now. So, yeah, we kind of want the Raiders to win though for our situation. Yeah, agree. But I don't know. I think we're better than the Broncos when we're playing well, and we got that Monday night game coming up against them in 2 weeks. So I think we can beat them there, and we get a head-to-head win. I think we'll be fine. Definitely want Tampa to win. That'll put us right there 2-2. So if the Raiders do pull it out, and the Bucks pull it out, then we're back square, 2-2. So even though this game sucked, we're still, we got some momentum to go and say, hey, this division we're still capable of winning this division. So 100%. That's why it was huge to get a win. It wasn't pretty, but I'll take it. I'll take it right now. Definitely take it, because if everybody's not at 2-2 and the Raiders are 1-3, this division is in play. It's definitely in play for us if we're able to get our shit together just a little bit. Even if just a little bit, just able to get our shit together a little bit, we'll be good. We'll definitely be good. Why is Sony getting these running backs? He hasn't improved. That's what I'm saying. They think that he's O.J. Simpson. They must think he's O.J. Simpson. I have no idea. Joshua Kelly is a better running back right now. He offers more. He has more explosiveness. He's more explosive out of the backfield. And he's been pretty damn good in pass protection as well, too. So I don't know what – Sony Michel just has Super Bowl rings, right? And that's what I said. Do Joe Lombardi and do Brandon Staley see something in Sony Michel that Bill Belichick and Sean McVay didn't see? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so, but we'll see what happens going forward. But Joshua Kelly needs more run. He's explosive. He definitely is. Tough to say, but we got to simply take the W. Wish it were easier, but can't blame Swing Past Joe at all. Good job. Yeah, yeah. I agree. You got to take the win right now, especially with the division right now. There's, these guys can lose and we can be tied up. So definitely take it. See, have a rest of a good day though when I watch another game. Yes, sir. Me too. About to get off and do that right now. And what do you think about Sawyer's play? Yeah, 100%. Sawyer really stepped up. That's another thing that I wanted to come on here and talk about too. He made it so I forgot that Rashawn Slater was out, and that is a huge compliment. Again, but I said earlier in the week, this guy played at Georgia. You played against some of the best pass rushers in that league, the SEC, and some of the best pass rushers that are now in the NFL. So, and guys who are now going to be coming into the NFL pretty soon too. So he knows what he's doing. He looked really good. I'm very, very excited. I think if he can hold that down, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be in good shape on the offensive line. Great first half, but conservative. Lombardi comes out in the second half again. Defense needs to stay consistent. Can we please get a complete performance for all 4 quarters? Exactly. Oh, I hope so. In the next coming weeks. We're going to have to, to beat a Broncos, to beat, the Chiefs again, even to beat the Raiders again. We're going to have a full game, full 60-minute performance. There can't be any lapses or anything like that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I'm like I said, if everything is not at 2-2 in the division, then I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be okay. This is the best Kelly has looked, 100%, and they're not using him. They're not using him. He earned the number 2 position, and they are not using him. Sony Michel came off the street. He got cut by Miami, who doesn't have a good running game, right? They don't have a lot of talent in the backfield. They didn't want him there. They don't have any use for him there, and they're fine without him. So what does that tell you? Like, they're not doing anything that is, extraordinary. And they said, okay, Sony Michel, we don't need you. So the Chargers pick him up, and now we act like he's OJ Simpson. Like, he just needs all this work, and he's just not. He's not that guy, right? Maybe he can come in and give some guys a break, but he's just not that guy. Bouncing from team to team after every single season. I don't know. I don't know what the Chargers see in him, but, it's weird. Beginning of the season, I wanted him gone. Same here. I was not a fan of him, but he's been playing well. So if we can get to the bye at 4-4 better, we should be all right. Yeah, same. I agree. I think if we're 5-3, I think we'll be in good shape. We'll either be probably at the top of the division or worst case scenario, a game away. So I think we'll be fine if we can get there, but we just have to kind of parlay some good performances on top of each other in order to get there. I want the Raiders to be 0-4 more than I want Denver to be 3-1. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It'll help us for sure. I know, but I don't want the Raiders to win. I really don't either. I was waiting for Kelly to take over second half. I was also said they took out Bandy when the players getting hot, leave him in. Exactly. Bandy can play. Like, this has turned into a like the Bandy story. I don't like it when they do players like, oh, it's just a cute little story. Like, right? Like, this guy doesn't really have that much talent. It's just a cute story. He's been working hard, whatever. Bandy could play. And some of those routes that he was running to, like, those are the route that where he caught the pass on the sideline. Like, he had to kind of improvise a little bit there because Herbert had to get that ball over the first defender. So he could have just stayed there and made that pass a throwaway or whatever. But he kind of, ventured out. Like, he understands the game. He's shown that he understands, his position and how to play wide receiver. So it's not just a little cute story. Bandy could ball. I want to see more of him. I do want to see more of him. And the Chargers should be playing him with Keenan Allen not playing. But, it is what it is. Matthew, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Yes, sir. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. We need to win these next 3 and go into by 5-2. I hope so. But if not, like I said, 4-4 would be okay. 5-3, 5-2. Yeah, 5-5. I mean, if we can put together performances, if this can, really bring about the offense, right? If the offense can start playing well, especially in the second half, I think we'll be fine. Because defensively, we've been okay. We've been okay defensively, but offensively in the second half, we have to put up points, and we need to control the clock a lot better. Take more time off the clock. If we're able to do that, we're going to be fine. but they didn't do that until later on in the fourth quarter, and it kind of came down to. I mean, not like it was a super close game. I wasn't really worried that we were going to lose the game, but I thought that they should have kind of put it out of reach in the beginning of the fourth quarter as opposed to later in the fourth quarter. But a win is a win, right? Beggars can't be choosers, and I am not a beggar today, right? I'm choosing to look at the positive side of this. Still not a good coach team, still not a well coached team, but hopefully this gets the players energized. Hopefully this is what the players needed to get energized and parlay some big performances, some huge individual performances coming up. That would be great. So I'm looking forward to that. Not that Mandy's on Keenan's level of getting separation, but I think that's his specialty. And Herbert can fit the ball in anywhere. He can, and he's not a fast guy, but you look at the straight line speed. He's not what that is, but he is a side to side guy. He's a Hunter Renfro type, right? The short white guy who is good being the Julian Edelman's, the Wes Welkers, the guy that's good in space, right? He can hit with a little juke move and create some space going left or right, whatever. Sit in the zone, make those catches. That's what the Chargers need, especially on the third down. Like those catches that Bandy made were crucial to continue the drive. So I want to see more of him. I definitely want to see more of him. As long as Keenan is out, I want to see more of him. Please. We know about our offense, but what's wrong with the defense giving up so many points? They're not coached well enough. That's just really all I can say. The scheme, like I said, the scheme is not the same. The scheme doesn't look the same as a Vic Fangio scheme. It's just missing something. But hopefully they can get it together. It was fine in the first half. Second half, they came up and they just kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. And some of that is expected, but I think they have to be coached up better. I just think Staley needs to. I don't know what he can do. Maybe bring in a new defensive coordinator. Maybe bring in somebody else. Maybe hire Vic Fangio to be a consultant so he can give him advice on how to do things properly. Vic Fangio he's not coaching. He was fired by the Broncos. That is his scheme though in action that the Chargers are running. So if you bring the guy in whose scheme you run, he could help. He could definitely help seal up some of the holes on defense. That is a suggestion that I think would be a quick fix. To have that guy in the building to be able to pick his brain and for him to be able to correct some of the things that's going on defense, that would be huge. But hopefully they do that. I don't think that they do, but that would be something that could help the defense like right away. So agree we should have ended 41-14, but we'll take the dub. Yep, take the dub. Yep. Anytime you get a win, that's really all that matters. So team isn't going far with this coach. Yeah, I agree. But it is what it is right now. You just gotta adjust your expectations. That's really all it is. Adjust your expectations as a fan, especially when you know that your team isn't being coached the best that they possibly can. The coaching is not bringing the most out of the players. You got to roll with it. So it is what it is. Both up. We finished the game today. We didn't charge it up. Yep. Agree with you. Run defense is bad again. Seems like it is. It's giving up big runs too, like chunk plays, and that's like not great at all. In the stats, it looks better because there are more negative plays in the run game. Like there are several negative plays in the run game, so that helps the stats. But giving up 50+ yard touchdown runs in consecutive games ain't great. It's not great at all. But hey, it is what it is. Murray is tough to watch too. Murray, I think he's almost there. He ran past a couple of plays that he was able to make today. He's almost there. He's almost there making plays. Hopefully he continues his consistency because if he does, I think by the end of the year he'll be making those plays. But he's almost there. I think he sat out most of training camp, so he's still trying to get his legs up underneath him. Give him a little more time. I think he'll be okay. I'm not on him yet. Murray makes one play and thinks he's still getting his feet under him, and there's a lot of responsibility at the middle linebacker position in this defense. He has a lot of responsibility, especially in the run game, and then when teams go play action, he has to be laser quick and diagnose what's going on. So I think he'll be fine. He missed most of camp with that ankle injury. So again, give him a little bit of time. Just give him some time, and I think he'll be fine. Let's see. Kenneth Murray's a problem. Otherwise, Staley doesn't play Reader over him. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a first round pick, and Tom Telesco is going to play his first round picks. Jerry Tillery still played today, right? He made a play. You know, he made that sack fumble. But those guys are going to play. When you're a first round pick and you're getting money, you're going to play. Until they let you go, they're going to try to get everything out of you. But you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward. Does our defense look like they are getting full effort from these guys? They keeps getting burned. I can't make it make sense. Yeah. He needs to get in. He needs to get with it as well too. All that money in the offseason, it doesn't look like a smart investment at this point right now, but hopefully he can get his feet up underneath him. If he can, then he'll be good. But yeah, he is getting burnt by lesser players, two guys that you've never even heard of. Same thing happened in the Chiefs game as well, too. He got beat by that special teams guy. It's like, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be the best man-to-man corner, but they're not asking him to play that man-to-man stuff now. So that's really what he excels at. He's just playing zone defense. He's looking in the backfield. He's getting beat because he doesn't respect who he's going up against. But if that's a Devontae Adams, he's not doing any of that. He's not looking in the backfield. He's not, trying to come up and run support and all that stuff. He's strictly focused on what he is supposed to do, and that's shutting down a top flight receiver. But if you don't have a top flight receiver, then he kind of just wanders around, and that's what it looks like. So also, why the hell can we recover a fumble on defense? It's pain. Why? I know. Like, it's been like 10 years now. We never recover any fumbles on defense. I don't know. That's bad luck, but yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Tiller actually contributed with that sack. Yeah, he did. He played all right today. He played all right. And if he's going to be in there, he needs to contribute. But, again, he is a former first round pick. So he's going to get that time, until they're done with him, until, he's gone next season. They're going to try to get as much out of him as they can, even if it is nothing, even if it's almost nothing, even if it's just a few drops, they're going to try to squeeze as much out of him as they can. But, hey, it is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and take off now. I just want to come on here, recap the game just a little bit. Might be back a little later on today. Maybe talk some more. I want to see what happens in the Raiders and Broncos game going on right now as we speak. And then we got the Chiefs and the Bucks later on. So definitely huge AFC West implications. So I might come back on a little bit to talk about, where the Chargers are depending on what happens today. So I'm going to be looking at everything. I hopefully the Chargers are in a place where they are, everybody's 2-2 in the division, and we start fresh, and then now we can go. So, but that's all I got for this one, guys. I will see you later. Thanks so much for all the support, and I'll be back later. Thank you.